going way back, even before the executive director, Travell Hart, came into leadership. I go back to my time in Chicago doing some training. I go back to the first field organizer, Jason Lear. A lot of you don't have that history. And I'm still a part of NOAH. I want to share something with you because you need to know your history. I did a big thing a couple of weeks ago on Malcolm. He talked about it's about us. But I'm going to say something about NOAH, and it's basically positive. This was a program back in 2006 at the City Club downtown. I was a part of that. My church was a part of that. These are the churches that were involved. Bright Star. At the time, the chairman of NOAH was David Hunter. Cathedral Church of God in Christ, the pastor Bishop F.E. Perry. Unity Faith and Assemblies, the Reverend Dr. Tony Minor. Euclid Avenue United Church of Christ, at the church I attend, which burned down next to Cleveland Clinic about 6 or 7 years ago. It's now, they meet at 30th and Euclid, and they're looking for a new home. I was the representative from that church. That's how I got involved. This is when we had a lot of churches involved. Forest Hill Church Presbyterian Church is still involved, Dr. John C. Lentz. The New Covenant Church, and has changed its name now. At that time, the minister was Dennis Mims. The members who attend that church know him. St. Mark's Presbyterian Church in Beechwood, Shiloh Missionary Baptist Church, and Unitarian University. And this is what the essence of what the organization was then, and then maybe it's changed now. We work to do two things, and hear this very closely. Establish policies and practices in the Northeast Ohio region that bring about justice and equity, and empower the faith community by investing in the development of leaders and clergy through training and action. Now, that's what the mission was then, and maybe it's changed. It was about bringing people together. My concern is the divisiveness that I'm hearing. I was told that there was a meeting of the concerned pastors, and everything was negative directed toward the council. And I don't know why. Because we have shared a lot of information up here, and we have committee meetings, and a lot of you haven't attended that. Also, recently, there was a protest today about the council, and that bothered me. And I said, I'm not going to go to so much of the negativity, but I need to share this. That we've got to work together. It's not blaming anymore. It's not about it. You need to hear this. You need to have ears to listen. Hear this. Because this is what it's all about. We're in fiscal emergency. F-I-S-C-A-L. Because we spend more than we bring in. That's why we're there. It's not on the mayor. I'm not blaming him. I'm not blaming the council. But the reason why the State Fiscal Commission has been established is because we cannot pay our bills. That's nothing to cut. Dr. Joy Jordan will tell you when she speaks that on Monday, March 11th, this is the meeting you need to be at. On Monday, March 11th, there will be a meeting at McGregor Home to start the Fiscal Commission. And they will monitor our spending. And no matter what this council says, because some of you believe the council, some of you believe the mayor, but I want you to deal with the facts. That's what I was taught. That's what the judge taught me. Deal with the facts. And you'll find out what the fiscal situation is. Why did the state, not Gary Norton, not George Jordan, not this council, put us in fiscal emergency? Because we don't have enough money to pay our bills. Nobody here wants to cut the police. You need to hear this. We've been saying this for a while. That's why I'm glad you're here. The state auditor is an independent, state-run thing. And they will come back with what you need to hear. Because I recognize that you hear so much. But I want you to hear the truth. So you don't have to listen to me. But if you're really concerned about these people, you start attending these meetings. $5 million. And that we don't want to lay off any police, that's foolish. But if we don't have the money, we can't do it no matter what you're hearing. We would be committing suicide to do that. Nobody wants to lay off the police. No one. Nowhere. But we cannot pay our bills. I won't even go through the litany of list of vendors that we owe money to. You don't know that. You need to do this. It's an open meeting, March 11th, Monday at 1 o'clock in McGregor. And it's going to be a start. It's going to be a monthly meeting going on, and then you'll hear the truth. Norway is a good organization, and the people are a good organization. But we have a responsibility to do the right thing. We have a responsibility to be good stewards, and that's what we're doing. Say what you have to say. But the state put us where we are because we cannot pay our bills. So let it be written, so let it be told. Thank you.